All right, so over the last couple of weeks, it seems like every time I open up my phone, I'm hit with news or videos or some wow soundbite from different news sources, right? Lately for me, all of those have been coming from one source, one platform. And that platform seems like it has gotten a lot of people talking right now. A lot of people, especially people within the music industry. So today, I want to do a deep dive on what it is about this particular show that everyone either loves or hates, but one thing for sure, they can't stop watching. So with that being said, today I am doing a breakdown, a marketing breakdown on Caresha Please. So let's get into it.
Period.
All right, so first, let's get into the origin story, right? So if you don't know who Caresha is, right? She's the host of Caresha Please, but she is one half of the City Girls, aka Young Miami. Young Miami. I shouldn't have to do a background check, but for the uninitiated, the City Girls have been pretty much the top female rap group for the past 2 or 3 years. So when the City Girls first came out, Young Miami's partner, Caresha's partner, JT, was in prison or jail, whatever the case may be. And so nobody knew who JT was, but everything was free JT. And so Young Miami had to pretty much hold everything down by herself, which was a lot. So she was doing both parts. There was videos of just her. So it's kind of crazy. And so with that, that's where she started to build her brand, started to build her name, because she was doing these over-the-top videos, these twerking videos, these lives, these photo shoots, and everything stood out. So, and since she was the only one holding up the City Girls banner at the time, all eyes were on her. And then once JT got out, everything was back cool. But that helped solidify the brand of Young Miami or Caresha to the people who just found out about it. Another part of her origin story, which I don't normally get into stuff like this because it's kind of messy, but she is rumored to be dating Puff Daddy, Diddy, Brother Love, Sean Diddy Combs, whatever you want to call him. She's rumored to be dating him. The only reason why I'm bringing that up, the only reason, is because that ties into some of the stuff that she's doing now. But we're going to get into that later though. So before we get into her show, let's talk about the issue with the podcast or the interview show space right now. So if we're talking about talk shows, regular talk shows on TV, I'm thinking of Tonight Show, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Chelsea Handler, like all those type of talk shows, right? The main issue with those is that pretty much all of those people look alike. And it's outside of a couple different nuances, it's the same show across the board. Nothing about those shows really stands out as supremely different than the other, right? And outside of Wendy Williams, nobody is really getting into the topics that, Caresha is talking about on her show. So coming into that space, it automatically makes her stand out because nobody looks like her, but also nobody is talking like her, as well as nobody's having the same guests that she has. So that already gives her a leg up on pretty much everybody else.
Period.
All right, so she started the show with a bang. So it's only probably about 5 or 6 episodes, but she started it with a bang. Her first guest was Diddy. So as I mentioned before, she's currently rumored to be dating Diddy, right? And so I remember the first thing I'm seeing from the show is a social media clip of them sitting down in a luxurious background, luxurious set, and she's asking him questions like, what are we?
Oh,
yeah.
So when you woke up and we was shrinking, what it was about?
I mean, it just.
So what we is? What you like about me? Like, why you fucking with a city girl?
Yeah.
So I feel like just by starting it out like that, it automatically had people glued in. Like they wanted to see what it was about. Like I watched the first episode like the first day it came out. And now that first clip from that first episode has now become like a viral clip with, people saying like real bad and, stuff like that. So once most people saw that first episode, they was like, you know what, we need to run this back and watch the next episode that comes out. And so that is what people did. So my personal opinion is that this show is probably one of the best and most entertaining shows out right now, right? But let me give you my reasons for saying that. First, it looks good. The set looks good. The set is like luxurious. It has, De Leon or Ciroc, all on the set. There is some, tropical, beach or beach house or something like that. And it always looks good.
Period.
Number 2 is that Caresha Young Miami looks good. Like, not to be the horny guy, but you know, she's always on each episode, she's putting on something that makes her stand out. Like, you know, it accentuates the curves, accentuates the body, like all that stuff. She looks good on every episode. I'm gonna just throw that out there. The third thing that really stands out about the show is the guests that she has on. So a lot of the guests that she's had have probably been on other talk shows or Tonight shows, right? And so those guests aren't opening up the same way, like as if they were on Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon. They're just not. They're talking about deep stuff as far as like sex, relationships, trauma, hurt. And it just seems like they're just completely open to these particular situations.
So sensual.
Yeah, I feel like we know how to like please each other.
It's straight to the point.
You know,
Where if you're on one of those other shows, you have to be very politically correct. You can't really be your true self. But on Caresha Please, they're allowed and they actually seem like they're showing their real personalities. So, and with all those things, like these videos have hit millions of views and the show's probably only been out for a month and a half. So it shows that people want to hear from these guests. They want to hear Caresha talk to these guests. And she's being rewarded by hitting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 million views per episode.
Period.
All right, so now let's get into the final breakdown. And with this final breakdown, I'm talking to the people who want to start their own interview show or, you know, a digital talk show. These are some of the things that you should definitely consider before doing that, right? And I'm taking all these cues from Caresha Please.
Period.
Number 1 is the set needs to look good. If you're gonna do it right. Like, have a set, even if you gotta put a little design to it, have your own set that stands out. It's not just a plain wall or plain chairs. You put some thought into it, add some greenery behind you, you know, add some drinks on the table, like do something to make it stand out, make it look good. Even if it's like that, even if it's your living room, make it look appealing. The second thing that you should consider is you need to have a certain niche with the guests that you bring on. You can't just bring on everybody because that's gonna be dry, it's gonna be boring, that's not gonna stand out. Because these same people were with such and such on this channel, or the same people are gonna be such and such on this radio station. You need to have a niche of who you actually talking to and what it is that you're going to be talking about that's going to make it completely separate, completely different than these other platforms. And the last thing, which I'm a big proponent of, is you have to create viral moments for your show. So sometimes it just comes down to good editing, or sometimes you actually have to go in and create, you know, ask these particular questions that's going to be able to get some type of response out of your guests. As long as you got that camera rolling, you're going to be able to catch that and be able to create snippets, create reels, create short form content that's going to allow people to be intrigued about what you got going on. So let's run it back. So if you're looking to create your own interview show, make sure you have a set that looks good, have a niche with your audience and your guests, and create viral moments from your show. So that's it for today. So if you've watched Caresha Please, let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think about it. Let me know if my breakdown was kind of, you know, right on the head. Did I make a lot of sense in that? Because I definitely want to hear from you guys and kind of, you know, get your thoughts on, you know, if I broke that down the right way. Is there something that I'm missing? So definitely leave me a comment. Also, make sure you subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I know I say that on every episode. And if you like this video, more than likely you're going to like this video. So, and if you like this video, more than likely you're going to like this video right here. I'm not sure what it's going to be about, but you're probably going to like it. So go ahead and click that and keep the fun rolling. Keep the fun rolling. So you guys be safe and enjoy yourself.